Here are 13 ways to self-generate roofing leads that cost you $0 or are dirt cheap. So whether you're responsible for generating all of your own leads and sales, or if your company is providing some or all of yours and you want to supplement your income with self-generated leads, this video is for you. If you've ever wondered how you can get your own leads, and maybe you say, hey, well, I know about door knocking, but what else can I do? Well, this video is going to break all of that down. It was inspired by quite a few of these threads that I've been seeing in like the roofing Facebook groups and the roofing Reddit group. People always turn to, how are you self-generating leads? What else can I do? And the most common responses are always the same. Knock doors, go knock doors, go knock doors. And the digital marketers find the thread. They're like, well, do you have the capacity for 40 more roofs this month? And then they go at it. So I just want to dispel all of that and empower you to self-generate your own leads. So you never, ever, ever feel again like you're incompetent, like you don't know what to do, or that your income is tied to people answering the door or your company putting leads on your schedule. So before we get into it, I just want to say a quick welcome, or hey, welcome back. Adam Bensman here, and everything that I do here on my channel is designed to empower you so you and your team can smash your income goal and give every customer an amazing experience. So let's roll. All right, first on the list for self-generating your own leads is number one, knocking doors. Self-generating leads and knocking doors is not dying. So many people are like, oh, it's dying. If I wanted a good roofing company, I'd contact you. That's garbage. In fact, I'm going to link to a video right up here on dispelling the myth of why door-to-door is not dead, and in my opinion, will never die, because there's a segment of the market who is unaware of the damage on the roof. So these people are not going to respond to ads, and they're not going to be jumping on Google to search for a roofing company. So it's up to you to find them first. That's why it's not going anywhere. It is virtually free, with the exception of course, gas or fuel to get out there. And once you're out there, you're in control of direct selling. It is powerful. Number two, cold calling. Cold calling, there are some compliance things to consider with cold calling. If you are cold calling, you need to make sure that the list that you're calling on is compliant with the latest laws. Whatever I reference in this video, the things could change by then. Make sure you're compliant, okay? Now, my very first sale in the industry, I made by cold calling. And here's a strategy that you can use right now. When you're driving to and from customers or to and from neighborhoods, when you see for sale signs, for rent signs, commercial properties, churches, apartment buildings, write them down or snap a picture and start calling on them. It's dial while you drive. In my very first sale in this business, I did that. I was leaving the gym covered in sweat. I hadn't made a sale yet. I saw a for rent sign on a commercial property with an old 3-tab roof that was beat up. And the guy answered the phone and he goes, hey, I said, hey, I'm calling about the property on Willie Street. Is it still available? And he goes, yeah, it is. I said, hey, is this the owner manager by chance? He goes, yeah, I own the place. So listen, man, I'm actually not calling about renting the place. I just left Ford's gym next door, and I couldn't help but notice that your roof's in really rough shape, and we might be able to get you a new one. See, we've been replacing a bunch of roofs in the area due to that recent hailstorm, and if we find enough damage, I might be able to help you out. Now, it was something to that effect, and again, it was the first sale I ever made. I didn't know what I was doing. And the guy says, great, I've got 3 leaks. Can you come out tomorrow? And all I did was I was willing to do something that other people weren't. So when you're driving around, cold call. Every one of these touches is an opportunity. Okay. Next on the list is leave behind letters. This has come up. People call them door hangers, and I want you to take the idea of a door hanger and chuck it out the window. When someone sees a door hanger, it is glossy, it is marketing. It says, hello, I would like you to buy stuff from me. So when homeowners see that, they throw it off their doorknob into the trash without looking at it, which is why what I provide in my sales system is the done-for-you letters that are printed out on your home computer that are highly personal with a powerful headline that draws them in. I show you how to fold them up, tape them to the door, or put them into a tube and put them by the handle of the door. So when people show up, they're like, hey, what is that? And you can even spruce it up by writing the property address number. So if someone comes home and sees a crooked piece of paper taped with blue painter's tape to the door and it says their address number or attention this homeowner, like they're going to grab it and open it, which is step number one, is getting them to open it. People that are using this are getting callbacks. In fact, here's a story of one right here. Getting callbacks from these letters that most people don't from traditional door hangers. All right, this brings us to a similar strategy. Number 4, targeted direct mail. No, this is not mass mailers. No, this is not postcards. This is part of the strategy that I teach in my sales system, that when you knock on the door and no one is home, you send a letter in the mail. We also leverage these at certain touch points when the job is coming up and when the install is done. And when we start mailing the homes that we've either been at or around the build that we're working, what that does is it builds familiarity. We will get calls off those letters. In fact, I have numerous customers that have told me that their close rate on these letters is near 100%. So why? Because the people that take the time to actually read them and call are highly, highly, highly qualified. But on the flip side, I know a gentleman that was using my system. He knocked on, so he got a sale. He mailed the neighborhood, went to the neighbor's house a few days later and said, hey, my name's William. The reason I'm stopping by, we're doing John's house. And I stopped by the other day, you weren't home, so I sent you a letter in the mail. And I just wanted to ask what questions you had for him about the letter that I sent you. And William told me that day he made $5,000. He signed this deal. He got the neighbor's deal as well. And it was because she said, oh, I had that letter actually on my counter and I was meaning to call you. And William, by the way, was in the business. He left to go do some missionary work. He was living on a boat. He's back in the United States now, back in roofing. We've been communicating over text. It's been so cool to just see the transformation. So there you have it, direct mail, targeted direct mail. Again, letters that you print out at home. I've done an entire series of direct mail. There's a playlist if you search on my channel, but I'm going to link to you this one video on how to create your own letters, and you can find that right up here. All right, number 5, referrals. And I know you're probably saying, of course, Adam, we can get referrals, but hear me out. I have spoken in front of many, many, many thousands of people, and I'll put them on the spot and I say, okay, everyone in the room, I want you to raise your hands showing me the number of referrals that you asked for this week. And then what ends up happening is you look around and all these people are sheepish. They're like, man, I know it's the absolute easiest way for me to get leads, but I'm not doing it. And then there's a handful of people that are showing, I did 2 or I did 6. But the point is most people don't do it because it's not part of their process. They're just relying on, I'll think to ask for referrals, which again, in my sales system, every salesperson is given it's what's called the referral cheat sheet that is included in the customer packet. So when you sign the customer on the first, whether it's a one-call close or a follow-up, when you're in the home signing the deal, or if you're doing them virtually, it is part of the process to walk them through the referral program. And I had a gentleman say to me, hey, Adam, prove to me, or what was it? I'm going off memory. I'm just going to put a link to the testimonial here. He's like, show me your system works without telling me it works. And the first time he used this, he walks out of the house with a handful of referrals. So again, the referral asking in and of itself is part of the equation. We also need to factor in how we ask, as well as the incentive behind asking. And if you want to learn more on that, I have an entire playlist called Referral Madness that you can jump into. Next on the list, number 6. Referral relationships. These are different than referrals. Customer referrals are people that send you referrals. Referral relationships are people who have a tendency to interact with your ideal customer. Real estate agents are not my favorite. I actually just did an interview recently with someone. A lot of people get their time wasted. Handful of people do well with real estate agents. Insurance agents are a very, very rich relationship, whether it's storm or retail. In my system, I teach you how to get in touch with every agent, to introduce yourself, again, just for that touch point. If you want an entire system built around that, check out Matt Danskin's restoration referral system. I've heard amazing things, and Matt's a stand-up guy. And that brings us to number 7. This one will cost you just a little bit of money, and that is the neighborhood block party. So when you're doing an install on someone's home, let's say you get the guy that is like so proud of his yard and his house, and you say, hey, can we throw a block party during the install at your location, at your house, in your front yard? We'll pay for everything and make you look like a hero. So again, what you do is on install day, you then advertise the neighborhood, hey, we're having a little block party, free food, come watch us work, and you get some folks to bring in food. You have some liability and there's some legal considerations in terms of providing food for people, so you may want to get an outside vendor or just do your homework on that. But again, grilling out or bringing in a food truck to feed the neighbors is a great way to draw people out to the neighborhood, because people just happen to love free food. All right, and that brings us to number 8, your own social media. Many people do this wrong. If you want some help on developing a great social media strategy in terms of building your personal brand, Joe Hughes with Contractor Dynamics is a great resource to go to. But I'll tell you, stop posting like, another one in the bag, nailed him, I'm the best salesman out there. Like, you have to remember who's looking at this. It is the customer. What's in it for them? All right, which speaking of the customer brings me to number 9, which is your customers' social media. One incredible strategy is to get a selfie with your customers. If you have a sign that says, "We love our roof," or "We love this company, we're happy to work with this company," you get a picture with them, say, "Hey, I'm gonna send it to you. Would you mind putting that up on your Facebook page and just tagging me? That'd mean the world to me." And believe it or not, people will do it. And now what you've done is you've tapped into the network of your customers' social media. So then their friends see it. Speaking of Facebook, that brings us to number 10, which is local Facebook groups. It's important to add value and not spam the group like, "Hey, I'm your trusted local roofer. Don't trust the other guys. Call me. Best price, best service, best warranty." Don't do that. When people are asking questions about roofing or selecting contractors, that's where you engage. You need to provide value first. It is a slow roll or a slow game, but when you provide enough value, and if you can get your customers posting in those local groups about you, like strategy number 9, saying, "Hey, put a selfie up," and then you could share it into that group. Oh, it's golden. Which brings me to number 11, which is quite similar. And that, my friend, is Nextdoor, the app. And very similar approach to the local Facebook groups. You can't get in there and spam the group. You need to provide value. Number 12, the often overlooked friends and family, your own network. Oftentimes, whether you're new and getting started, or if you've been doing this for a while, we overlook the fact that our friends and family live near us and they may need new roofs. Tap into it. And that brings me to number 13, the final one on the list, which is rehashing old or lost opportunities. This is very frequently overlooked. In fact, we had a discussion going in the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance not long ago that the topic was, how long do you follow up with customers? And one of our members had shared that he follows up indefinitely until they say no. And he recently rehashed a deal from many years ago. We had another member say the art is in the follow-up. That was a separate post. And that was, again, another deal that was acquired after the customer reaching out many years ago and not choosing them because they were more expensive at that point. But as you know, the project that they originally reached out to them, the previous contractor who did it cheaper didn't do a great job. So when a weather event came, they were able to make contact again and they earned the business. So your old pipeline is rich with opportunity, and it is important for you to tap into them. So there you have it. There are 13 ways. Now you don't have any excuses to not be self-generating your own leads. 13 simple ways that cost you nothing or next to nothing. Now you might want to start using all these strategies. Say, "Hey man, I really want to get better at door knocking and I need a process." Or maybe you just want to start using my full sales system, which has been used by many thousands and proven for both storm and retail in every state in the US, Canada, Australia, and Sweden, from companies just getting started to quite a few of the largest companies in the industry, including some of the largest private equity groups. And if that's you, well, my strategies are now exclusively available to members of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance. So if you want to jump into sales training with a deep meaning and stand for something even bigger, then click the link in this description and book your application call to learn more. I hope this video helps you and empowers you and your team to smash your income goal and give every customer an amazing experience. Just because our time here is about to wrap doesn't mean your and my time has to. So if you haven't yet done it, jump into my free training center. There's absolutely no catch in binge-worthy content, whether you're in sales, you're a leader, or you're an owner, whether you're new or seasoned. And stick around till the very end. I'm going to jump you right into a playlist that's going to help you start self-generating even more leads. Can't wait to see you on the next one. See you later.